Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shire show. Happy Christmas Eve, as Eloise would say. And as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, this is the 'Tis the Season book tag for Christmas 2025. Christmas is this Thursday, and before I get too far into this video, I just want to say that I'm going to be taking Friday off, and I feel like that's kind of obvious because it's Christmas Thursday, so just to give myself a little bit of a break. I'll probably, let me actually double check the calendar real quick, but I'll probably do next week too. So next Friday, which is January 2nd, I'll also be taking that off just for New Year's. So this Friday and next Friday, there will not be any videos. So stay tuned for the Friday after that, which I believe would be January 9th. But with all that said, let's get into the 'Tis the Season book tag. The first prompt is favorite winter read. And for me, that's A Christmas Carol because it's short, it's sweet. I feel like we all kind of need that short, sweet book that's good around the holidays, just a quick read, quick pick-me-up. And if we're talking about trying to reach meeting goals, some short books help a lot. So Christmas Carol, in this story, if you don't already know, you're following the tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, who's really stingy, really almost corrupt with his money, doesn't give it out easily, and then Christmas Eve-ish, Christmas Eve, he's visited by the ghost of his old partner, Marley, who says you're going to be visited by 3 ghosts. So that's what happens in this book. Again, that's if you don't already know, because it's a pretty widely popular tale. And I'm sorry to anyone who thinks differently, but in all due respect, you're wrong. The best ones, the best Christmas Carol movies are the Muppet one and the George C. Scott one. Those ones are the best, top tier by far, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong. So, anyway, the next prompt is a book with blue on the cover. For me, I chose Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater, and I feel like this one also kind of fit just generally because part of the book does take place in winter, so it kind of fits thematically a little bit too. But to give you the synopsis, one princess, Merida of Dunbroch, needs a change. She loves her family, jovial King Fergus, proper Queen Eleanor, the mischievous triplets, and her peaceful kingdom. But she's frustrated by its sluggishness. Each day the same, Merida longs for adventure, purpose, challenge, maybe even someday love. 2 gods, the fiery princess never expected her disquiet to manifest by way of Feradoch. I think I'm saying that right. An uncanny supernatural being tasked with rooting out rot and stagnation, who appears in Dunbroch on Christmas Eve. Well, this fits a little bit more than I initially said. With the intent to demolish the realm and everyone within. Only the intervention of the Cailleach, an ancient entity of creation, gives Merida a shred of hope, a bargain. Convince her family to change within the year or suffer the eternal consequences. 3 voyages. Under the watchful eyes of the gods, Merida leads a series of epic journeys to kingdoms near and far in an attempt to inspire revolution within her family. But in her efforts to save those she loves from ruin, Merida has lost sight of a clan member, grown most stagnant about herself. But has she lost sight of what I just said? 4 seasons that will secure Dunbroch's future or destroy it forever. So this is really perfect for this time of year. So this basically acts as a sequel, like a fan fiction type sequel to the movie. Now, something I will say is I saw this in a comment on a video that was like, the video on TikTok was basically another potential origin story for Sally. And I don't have it on my shelf, my sister has it, but in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, we get another origin story for Sally. And there are people in the comments of that video of the TikTok that offered an alternative origin story. They were like, oh, like her origin story is XYZ. It was in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Sorry, I had to make sure it wasn't being too loud. But yeah, so there were people making those comments saying this is her origin story. It's in Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, which yes and no. Like, but I did see another comment on that video that said you kind of have to treat these books as fan fiction that Disney's, what's the word, approved of. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so I can't think of the exact word that was used in the comment, but it's basically like the formal approval, the token acceptance of like, hey, this is like another story, like another type of story, but like you can't treat it as canon. And for a lot of these movies, the Disney movies, you have to treat the movie itself as the official canon, and any books or artwork or graphic novels that are done subsequent of the movie, you kind of have to treat those as more fan fiction rather than canon, unless it's specifically Disney. Like, this is like kind of like the fine line, because it's like unless it's specifically Disney released, which these are, and like the Twisted Tales too, but like this Long Live the Pumpkin Queen wasn't a Twisted Tale, but like this is like for the books at least, there is that fine line because they are Disney released through Disney Hyperion Publishing. Most of these are, but at the same time, it's like you can't really, like, okay, here, they have to be released by Disney, and they have to have like, and Disney has to have some sort of a statement regarding that book as to whether or not it's canon, as to if it's canon. And if they haven't said if it's canon, then you can't take it as canon, even if it's Disney backed. So this is like basically like a sequel, like a fan fiction sequel to Brave. That was my whole point of that. Anyway, the next prompt is a book you'd use as a star on the Christmas tree. So for me, I would probably use When You Wish Upon a Star by Elizabeth Lim. And I've never had like a star on the Christmas tree. We've always had an angel, and this is one I would use as like a star, or I'd make like a star inspired by this one. And like I've said in previous book tag videos where I've mentioned a what if Disney Twisted Tale what if book, do not read the synopsis. Just go based off of the what if question. And for this one, it is, what if the blue fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? Don't read the synopsis, just because I found that 8 to 9 times out of 10, there's a pretty big spoiler in the synopsis. So that's that. Again, apologies, like it's really early in the morning, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not being too loud because the rest of the household is still asleep. So the next prompt is, where am I? There I am. A fictional place that'd be perfect for a winter holiday. And for me, that would be the Shire, or just Middle Earth in general, by J.R.R. Tolkien. And it's like Hobbiton specifically, the Shire specifically, but just Middle Earth in general. Like, I'd love to go there and spend Christmas there, just because it'd be so cozy and chill and just kind of right up my alley. But for The Hobbit, again, this is another book where it's like, if you don't already know, basically you follow a hobbit, Bilbo, who goes on an adventure with 13 dwarves and a wizard to reclaim the 13 dwarves' homeland. So that's what this is about. Again, like with the Peter Jackson movies that came out, and then there's the Rankin Bass movie, like it's a pretty well-known story, even if you haven't read it. So the next prompt is a character you'd like to take with you on your winter holiday. And for me, I would like to take Maxi from Under the Oak Tree, just because I'd love to just spend some time with her and relax in like a cabin for a winter vacation. Like, we get snowed in and we just relax, maybe read some books, have the fireplace going, have some hot chocolate, you know, just like a very chill winter holiday. So in Under the Oak Tree Volume 1, you follow Maxi, Lady Maximilian Crusoe, the daughter of Duke Crusoe, and she gets married to a kind of an upstart knight is kind of like a lackluster way to put it, but it was kind of like an on the rise knight, and they get married, and the morning after their wedding night, he leaves on a 3-year mission. And so it's like he's gone for 3 years, and then when he gets back, like, she's surprised he still wants him. He still wants her. So that's what this is about. And she's such a sweet character, and she must be protected at all costs. Like, I love her so much. The next prompt is a book on your wish list this year. Now, the book fell. Now, okay. A book on your wish list this year. For me, I might have already gotten this. I kind of doubt it. But what I've been doing with my Barnes & Noble rewards is I've been saving them up so that I can make a dent in purchasing this for myself. And that is the Magic Knight Rayearth box set part 2, the 25th anniversary edition. I'm showing up volume 1 of part 1. And like, I have always loved Magic Knight Rayearth, and there are a lot of parts of it that are kind of cheesy and cutesy, but one, it's of the time, and two, it's kind of the genre as well. So it's like, this is one of my favorites mangas, like, and animes, and I don't quite like what they did with season 2 of the anime, because it's not very close to part 2 of the manga, but like, it's still a comfort watch. It's still a comfort manga. Like, I love this manga, and I love the anime. But in this one, you basically follow 3 girls who get transported to another world to save that other world. So it's magical girl saving the other world, that kind of deal. And basically, you're following them on their journey to become magic knights. So that's this one. One moment, I'm gonna put this back. Okay, just because that's on like the bigger side, I wanted to put it back in its box set before anything happened to it. So yeah, that's one of my favorite shows, animes, mangas. And despite the cheesiness, despite the of its timeness, like, I will always love that one. And then the last prompt is favorite holiday drink, treat, and movie. Now, this kind of ties into the beginning, but drink would probably be hot cocoa, whether it's like a peppermint hot cocoa or like, for me it has to be kind of dark chocolate hot cocoa, because I really need the chocolate flavor to come in. And then favorite holiday treat would be peppermint bark. And then favorite holiday movie, I have a few, but White Christmas is one, but the one that I'm doing for the sake of this prompt and this tag is the 1984 Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. And that's, like I said at the beginning of the tag, that is one of the best versions of A Christmas Carol. Like, hands down, I love that one. Like, George C. Scott is amazing as Scrooge, and like, that is such an amazing movie. So that's what this one is, and those are my favorite holiday stuff, and those were my answers for the 'Tis the Season book tag. So I am tagging everyone and anyone who wants to do this tag. Do it down below in a comment, or do it in your post, whether it's a video or a blog post. I'd love to know what your answers are. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.